you don't look lost. If anything, you look right at home. It's not my intention to make you uneasy at all. As we go through our process here, feel free to stay mostly quiet or ask a ton of questions. This experience is entirely yours, so I need you to shape it as you will. Yes. So let me explain a little bit about how this works best. I'll have you shuffle the card, and as you shuffle them, I'll have you think of 2 questions. I know narrowing things down to 2 questions can be the trickiest part of our evening together. As you shuffle the cards, slowly in your mind, go through your 2 questions as many times as you feel comfortable. I'm just going to do some deep breathing while you shuffle to prepare myself. Yeah. Shuffle as many times as you like. After you've shuffled, I'll have you lay the cards back down on the table. And I'll pick them up and we'll start going through your question. Yes, each card and each question is going to have a different layout. And so I'm going to tell you what the position of the card means to the question. And I'll lay out the cards in front of me and read them to you. So as I lay them out in front of me, that's just so that I can read them better. The position of the card, whether it faces me or it faces you, so whether it's reversed or inverted, sometimes we use reversed and inverted together, or whether it's right side up, that changes the meaning of the card. I'm going to go through everything. Don't worry. Do you need anything before we begin? So have you chosen a deck? I see. This one. Thank you for your selection. So I'm going to give the deck to you. Shuffle, and as you shuffle, ask your 2 questions inside. Go ahead. So let's look at the future. The fifth card represents the immediate future. So we have the Three of Wands in an inverted pattern. Basically, it says if you continue on this manipulation, then you are going to have delays in reaching your long-term goals. The sixth card represents